If you feel like you're working hours and hours and hours and just not getting things done, then this is exactly the video you need. I will show you the secrets that I've learned in the past 4 years of how to become a productivity monster and really, really get things done. Because we all have this one friend that has a business and works all day, but just does not get things done. Maybe I've even been this person myself, okay? I'll be honest. And I want to give you my secrets of how to become a monster and move mountains, how to really get stuff done. And no, this is not some bullshit guru video where I give you the 5 secrets for a perfect morning routine, getting into the first point. This is not how it's going to work. The first point is that morning routines are bullshit. This fancy, ultra special 10-step morning routine totally defeats the purpose of a morning routine. Because think about it. A morning routine is there to get you into the flow. And what does a super fancy, stupid morning routine do? It takes all your willpower and all your focus that you should use for working, it takes it for the morning routine. It totally removes the whole purpose of a morning routine. If you need to spend half of your willpower and half of your focus on just completing your 20-step morning routine, you're just an idiot. Sorry to break it to you. You need to find out how to get into a high energy flow as soon as possible. I will tell you my secrets in a few minutes, but one concept that I want you to understand is that whenever you wake up, you have a specific time where your energy goes up and your flow state starts. The time, for me, it's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. This time is the most important. And if you use this time to do your stupid morning routine that goes from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., if you do a morning routine for 3 hours, if you meditate, if you do handstands, whatever you want to do, that'll just waste your time. Because this is the most important time of the day. The few hours after you wake up, when your brain is fresh after a nice sleep and you're ready to go. So it's obviously important that you learn how to A, use this time, and B, get into this flow state as soon as possible. To start this curve, this upwards trajectory as soon as possible. I will show you my secrets in a minute. But you need to understand that most people's day looks like this. They wake up, they scroll on their phone, they eat some sugary bullshit breakfast, then they somehow start working. They're forced at some point to have a meeting, and then it just declines and declines, and then they have a work break and hang out with friends. And this is literally what your competition is doing. And that's their day. The maximum level of productivity that they get is this, compared to this, okay? And compared to this, okay? This is a millionaire. This is a 9-to-5 hamster. No offense, but that's just what it is. Or this is some entrepreneur. This is a multimillionaire entrepreneur, and this is some self-employed moron that makes $1 or $2 grand a month and never improves and stays that way for all of his life. So keep this graphic in mind, okay? This is the most important phase of the day. Because you need to understand that, and this is how I do it. I wake up at 9 a.m., 8, 9 a.m., around that time, whatever works for you. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. Don't be weird. Wake up at a time that works for you and work. This is a deep work phase, okay? Then you have lunch. For me, it's when my chef prepares lunch for me. Have 2 deep work blocks where you really get stuff done. Here, this is the deep work. And this is the, what to call it? This is the simple work, okay? This is where you... Simple work. This is the best way to do it, in my opinion. You wake up, you get into your zone as fast as possible. I'll show you how in a minute. You work for a few hours with super high focus. You have lunch. You have a break with that at the same time. You go for the next deep work session. You take a quick break. Here you can do your training, for example. Here you can go for a walk. And then you have the simple work. This is where you have calls, meetings, strategic meetings, stuff that's not super important. All the important stuff, big rocks of your day, you move here into this block. And what you do at the end of the day is the fun. That's the secret, because you don't want to have a burnout. You don't want to you don't want to be that guy that sits at home and doesn't have a life. If you want to have a life and become rich AF, then you can have fun. You can do the cool things. You can go to the restaurants. You can go to the beach clubs. You can do everything, but do it here. Do it after you have finished your stuff. Keep this graphic in mind, okay? Now I want to show you how to manage your time properly. And this is not some bullshit guru 5 things for proper time management technique. This is what works. This is the stuff that works. I tried them all. I tried the Pareto. I tried the timing. I tried noting down every literal minute of my day. I tried all of these stupid routines. I was there. And the best thing that works is to have a clean and simple to-do list. Okay? To have a checklist. And this checklist you write here in this part of the day. When you finished your work, then you sit down for 10 minutes or 15 minutes and write the stuff down that you want to get done tomorrow. And on the day, you sit down in the morning and add things that you want to add. This is super important. This is the best and most effective way how to have structure, but not overcomplicate it, not make your brain explode just from the productivity routines itself. You want to make your brain explode from the productive stuff you get done, but not from the routines. So have a to-do list. Have a to-do list that you edit or that you create in the evening and edit and perfectionize in the morning. Set deep work time blocks, like I explained, these things here. Set time blocks where you get the stuff done. Here, there's no distractions, no meeting friends, no stuff that doesn't bring you money. So this is deep work. This is the stuff where this is the times where you really get things done. Set those blocks for you. Whenever a friend asks you, reject them. Don't do anything in this time. Have these green blocks. It's super important, because this is when you're at your highest. This is when you're functioning like a machine. So you have to use this time. If you go for a brunch every day of the week or go golfing every day of the week from 9 to 2 p.m., you'll never get things done. You'll never become a successful entrepreneur. The next thing is to set proper priorities. I do this by having 2 things: a highlighter, deadlines. I take my checklist that I made in the evening and optimize in the morning, and I use a marker, a highlighter, and highlight what is important, what I have to get done, what is the important stuff, what's the frog. Obviously, I'm not telling you to eat frogs. They taste super disgusting. I had them in Paris once, but frogs are disgusting. You have to eat the frog. The things that you need to do, that you don't feel like, that cost a lot of willpower, that you should do here. This is where you eat the frog. Frog. This is where you eat the frog, in this block, okay? The next question you can ask yourself is the one thing. It's a very good book. I read it, I think, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Essentially, it teaches you to find out or to ask yourself, what is the one thing that I could do today that makes all the other stuff irrelevant? And this one thing, what moves you forward, this you should do here. This is the most important block of the day. Remember, this is the time where you make millions. Remember that. Don't overcomplicate it with weird stuff. Don't be weird. Do exactly as I've taught you for a week, and then tell me if it worked or not. And don't worry, I'll give you a lot more nitty and gritty tips that work even better. When you are working, work. Don't be the guy that sits at his laptop all day and doesn't even get stuff done. That just plays online casino while he works all the time. Be the guy that has his checklist, that finishes the stuff. When you're working, work. You'll be happy. You'll finish your stuff. The next point is how to get into the zone. This is the most important part of this video. How to get yourself into this block of becoming a millionaire as soon as humanly possible. This is my exact routine, what I do every single morning. Oh yeah, ignore this. I literally just recorded this video before and I sounded like Mickey Mouse because I messed up some control on my microphone. So yeah, stupid me. But how to get into the zone. What I do the first thing in the morning is obviously to brush my teeth. Simple. After I've brushed my teeth, I wash my face. No, I'm just kidding. So I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I do whatever I have to do. And then I get out into my garden, surrounded by palms, next to my volleyball field and my pool. And I do push-ups, I do jump rope, I get moving. Optimally in the sun. If you don't live in Dubai and have sun all year round, that's too bad. But if you have sun, use it. If you don't. Then just get outside and move. Just run around your house 3 times, whatever you want to do. Just move at the first thing, because that wakes you up. Because no one ever has, even if you've slept 2 hours, you won't be more tired after just doing 3, 4, 5 minutes of activity and just getting a super light sweat and get your blood flowing. Period. Caffeine. And this is, I'm not sponsored by Starbucks, unfortunately, but the cold brew coffee, it's like the lab rat explodes. It's so good. I'm sure they mix something into it. It's just so good. Caffeine, use it. But the thing about caffeine is that you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to be this ant that says she could never survive without coffee. Be the person that uses caffeine effectively, because caffeine only works if you cycle it. Have breaks, take a few weeks off of caffeine, and use caffeine when it has a purpose. Ask yourself, if I'm more alert and more focused, will I either gain more muscle or make more money? If the answer is no, or I don't know, to either of these questions, you should take a caffeine break. The next point is, do not stuff your face with sugary crap. And for me, this is relatable because back when I used to live in downtown, I lived right next to a hotel, and they had the best breakfast. Fresh donuts, fresh waffles, all made in front of your face. Made in front of you. And they were so good. And sometimes I sneaked into this breakfast and had some food at this buffet, and I was destroyed. Like, having sugary crap for breakfast right after you wake up, that will keep you in this, that will keep you in this line for sure. You will crash and you will just stay down. So do not eat sugary crap in the morning. I mean, don't eat sugary crap, but especially don't eat it in the morning before your deep work block. Eat it in the evening, I don't care. Eat it here in the fun phase of your day. Here you can eat sugar. I do not care. Here you can eat the sugar. But don't eat it in the morning. It's super important. Then one hack that might sound weird, but it helps me a lot, is to have a focus music. Have a work music. If it's deep house, melodic techno, piano, focus music, Mozart, whatever works for you, find a playlist and only listen to that when you're working. It gets you in the zone so fast. It's super, 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 super good. Also, you have to ignore everyone for the first 30 to 60 minutes of your day. Just ignore. Sit down, before you even open WhatsApp, before you open Telegram, whatever messenger you use, sit down and work on your to-do list. And if your to-do list, the most important highlighted point, does not involve someone else, then do not open messages. Do not communicate with anyone. Finish your thing. Finish your to-do list and finish the important task before you communicate with anyone. Obviously, being in the Dubai time zone helps because I'm 2 to 3 hours ahead of Europe and I have my peace for the first 1 to 2 hours every day. The next point is one of the most important things. Have a dedicated workspace. For me, it's an ultra-wide monitor. More about that in a minute. But whenever I get back to my standing desk with my monitor, with my $2,000 Herman Miller office chair, I'm in the zone. And I don't do bullshit things at this desk. I only work. If I want to do bullshit things, I go out into my villa and do whatever I want somewhere else. But not in this room. The funny thing is I also have a throne to choose from if I don't feel like my Herman Miller chair. But that's a story for another day. So yeah, have your dedicated workspace. Yes, I understand working while traveling is doable, but it's not the same. If you have your desk where you're used to working, you're just switched on right away. It helps. Be around men. I'm heterosexual, so I do not mean this differently, but be around men that are working hard. Yes, living with your girlfriend can be okay. If you're living with your wife or girlfriend, whoever, it's fine. But have times where you are literally sitting down with your guys and going to war. This is where you will move mountains. Be around men that are working hard. Like, obviously, don't be around men that don't do any of this stuff. Be around men that get it and that are ready to work their ass off with you together. Get an ultra-wide monitor. Seriously. You can do 3 things at the same time. It's so good. It's so good. I have the Samsung Odyssey G9 OLED or whatever it's called. And I can literally do 3 things at the same time. I can listen to my music, I can respond to people, and I can take notes. It's really crazy. It makes a huge difference. Going from a small 13-inch MacBook to a 39 or 49-inch screen, it's really insane. It's so good. It's the best money you can invest. The next point is to not start your day with unnecessary meetings. Do not have these bullshit brainstorming meetings. One thing you will learn with time is that brainstorming meetings that are not properly prepared defeat the purpose and are super ineffective. Because what do stupid meetings do? They take away your maker time, your deep work time that I talked about. Because if you fill this with 3 stupid meetings, you've just wasted your most important time of the day. Do your meetings here or here, but don't do them here. Just don't, okay? Don't do unnecessary meetings there. Move all the important stuff, like stupid meetings, to the evening. Because if it does not make you money or grow your business, move it. Move it to either here or here. But do not do it in this time. So important. The next topic I want to talk about is execution over perfection. Realize that you do not want to be this perfectionist guy that takes 5 years for everything. An example I like to use is that if it's your goal to become a professional fighter and you want to have a few fights in the ring with a professional license, then even if you train 10 years and you have the best boxing combinations and you're super, super, super good, If you don't get the license and step into the ring, then you'll never have a professional fight. And you'll be outperformed by the guy that trains for a year, that gets a license and fights. Okay? Understand that a plan is only done when it's completed. Your goal is only achieved when it's completed. You do not want to be this guy that's this feel-good worker and that takes 3 days for something that you could do in one. We all know these people. They make their nice task list and they journal and they wait for a unicorn to appear and make them more productive. And they need 3 days for a simple, stupid task that could be done in 20 minutes. So don't be this guy that gets stuck in planning and theory. Be the guy that is stuck in action and practice. Okay? Obviously, having a checklist for a goal that has follow-ups and the completion included, that's the game changer. Because that's my lesson to all the CEOs out there. If you have a team and you have people that you delegate things to, having the follow-ups included is the secret sauce. Because that's what will guarantee that a product is finished. If you want to create a new ad campaign and Peter does it for you, having the point creating new ad campaign or telling Peter to create a new ad campaign and checking that is half of the rent. You need to put this, and after that, check with Peter if completing ad campaign is done. And if that's checked, it's done. Add follow-ups to your checklist. It's so important, and it saves you time in the long run, because if you check something and follow up it in the right time, it'll take much less time than going back and redoing everything and getting back into the flow state for this specific project. So add follow-ups into your checklist. Hold yourself accountable and only talk about things when they are achieved. That is so important, because everyone thinks that I'm an overnight success. But they don't see the 4 years of work that went into being an overnight success. Because I've never been a person that's this hustler and makes Instagram stories how he's working. That's just weird. Be a person that is represented by his achievements and by the things he's done. Don't be the person that is represented by this hustle culture bullshit. So build the standard of doing and not talking. Now, as the last point of this video, which is seriously the most important point, because if you don't do this, then all the other stuff is not important. It's about prioritizing ruthlessly. So this beautiful graphic I made for you to sort tasks and things you have to do. Ask yourself, is it important? Yes or no? Is it urgent? Yes or no? If it's important and urgent, do it. Do it now. If it's important and not urgent, schedule a time when you will do it. Put the deadline to tomorrow or day after, whenever. If it's less important and urgent, delegate it. Outsource it to someone. Ask your employee, ask your girlfriend, don't ask your parents, but ask whoever you want. Delegate it. Hire someone from Fiverr. Delegate it. If it's not urgent and not important, delete it. As simple as that. As simple as that. Learn to say no to unimportant people, things, and events. It's such an important skill that you just have to learn. Say no. Don't be a little coward that is a yes man and that says yes to every single opportunity and event and dinner and breakfast and brunch and whatever, children's birthday party. Just say no to things. Be the person that is ready to say no and stand by his word and is confident in himself and that is ready to say no. Do you have time today? No. I'm free after 6 p.m. We can meet then. When you're in your fun time, as simple as I've explained it previously. Also, set priorities in your task list, because if your task list is 3 pages long, you will not get anything done. Delegate and outsource. But this sums it all up, this beautiful ranking scheme that I gave you. Okay, to sum everything up, in this video, how you will become a productivity monster, is realize that morning routines are bullshit. You just need to understand how to get into your flow state as soon as possible. You need to understand how to master your time management. No fancy routines, no bullshit principles, just a clear and simple to-do list that you write in the evening and fine-tune in the morning. That's it. Try it. Using and finding your strategies of how to get switched on, how to get into the zone. 3. Understanding that you need to execute, not perfect. You need to get things done. Complete them, be a doer, not a talker, and prioritize ruthlessly. Learn to prioritize. Those are the 5 hacks that you need to become a productivity monster and really get things done. I hope you liked this video. Give me a like, leave me a nice happy comment if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.